Masters rolling? Credits are rolling?
Welcome to John Angelo Interviews. My guest tonight is Sonia. And Sonia, you're going to sing tonight, aren't you?
Yes.
And you tell me, where did you come from? What did you do? Are you an American?
I was born and raised in Southern California, native Southern California. Have lived here most of my life, except for about a year when I went to Arizona to ride horses and work at the racetrack. Came back, discovered a love for acting and a talent for singing.
Good.
So I've been pursuing that, and in the meantime I'm working on a window cleaning business that my father started. Actually, my grandfather started it in West Hollywood about 50, 60 years ago.
Really?
Yes, right on Melrose. He grew up in a house on Melrose, which is now a business that's still standing, and I do the windows in his house where he grew up still.
Really?
Yeah, so my dad took over the business, the West Hollywood portion, in about 1980, and we still do a few places on Melrose every week.
You still do?
Yes.
And you said you rode horses in Arizona. Were you a jockey?
I was an exercise rider. I was training to be a jockey for a while. Actually, I started out at Santa Anita in Arcadia, and the trainer I worked for there gave me a chance to work for him in Phoenix, Arizona, smaller track, easier to get started. So I was in Arizona for about 9 months, exercising race horses there, and then for a short time in Northern California, then came back to Southern California to ride at Santa Anita again and Pomona Fairplex, and I did that for a number
that's
of years.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And you're going to sing for me tonight, and you're going to sing what song?
This is an Italian aria called Caro mio ben. There's a little confusion about where the song came from. It's known to be from an opera that is not performed anymore, and no one knows the name of the opera anymore, so now it's known as just an art song, meaning not connected to an opera, and it's written by Giuseppe Giordano.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now I'm going to ask you to sing, and then after you sing, come back and we'll talk about your life.
Okay.
Do you want to sing now?
Sure.
Okay. The musicians are coming in and they're ready to.
Sospiro
Now that was for real. There was no lip syncing there. That was really for real. And that was wonderful.
Thank
and being
you.
Italian, I understood a lot of it.
Oh, good.
So it was very good. Now,
Well, then I hope I portrayed it honestly.
yes, you did. Yes, you did. You were very good, and you sang well. And you're going to sing another song later on.
Sure, if you like.
Sure, I will. Now, you're a Trekkie.
Yes, that is something that I love, Star Trek and Star Wars, and I think I discovered a love for that really when I was 15.
Well, you're only 16 now.
Exactly, so it's really just been a year,
Yeah.
and in that year I've gone to a lot of conventions.
And tell me, do you get dressed up?
Sometimes, yeah. It depends. When it's the middle of the summertime, you don't really want to wear polyester uniform, so you just wear a Star Trek t-shirt. But I have been known to get dressed up, especially when I used to volunteer at the Hollywood Charity Horse Show at Griffith Park Equestrian Center.
Oh, yes.
That's William Shatner's charity, and so a group of us, I was in a club, and there were clubs from all over that would come in uniform to entertain the disabled children and to put on a show during the horse show. So I did that every year for a few years until I started working on Saturdays and couldn't go.
Oh, your father kept you working.
That's right.
Well, that was good. At least you were making money.
Yeah, and it's a fun tradition to hold up. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy my customers, and I love that we've had it for so long. And on the same street, some of our customers are over 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now I have to ask you about, there is an organization I belong to, and they have a pony. And I hear you're training the pony.
Oh, yes. They did get a pony from some kind of a rescue place, and I guess no one there knew anything about horses. So I went up to their farm in Fresno and got him started, groomed him and walked him around and lunged him around and to see what he could do. And luckily I have a friend who lives very close to the farm in Fresno where the pony was, and introduced them and got her to take over his training, and now she's doing an incredible job. Taught him to pull a cart, and he's
pulling a cart?
He's pulling a cart. Now he started out as a pony rides for children pony.
How wonderful. They charge?
No, I don't believe they do. I think he's just there to help out, earn his living, and get children to come and work on the farm.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? I think that's great that the pony is getting a life, because I heard he was abused.
A little bit. He was more neglected than anything and hadn't been taken care of. No one was exercising him, grooming him, or giving him shoes, and he was becoming very lame on his feet. No one just kind of knew how to take care of him, so he needed someone to just be there every day. I think people sometimes get a horse and don't realize they take everyday care. You can't just leave them in a paddock.
No. It's like a dog. If you have a pet, you got to take them every day to dupes and dupe, and you know what I mean?
Yep. And exercise.
Yes, of course. You get the exercise too.
Oh, absolutely. It's the best exercise.
Oh, yes. I would like you to sing your second song. What is your second song?
My second song is an Italian art song called Sei tu Mami.
Oh, my God. It reminds me of my days as a little boy. You want to start?
Sure.
Okay. Our music department is getting ready.
They're doing a very good job. Pastor, o dolor de tue oggi Silvio sceglierà con la scusa se la spina, doman poi la sprezzerà, doman poi la sprezzerà. Ma dagli uomini il consiglio io per me non seguirò, non perché mi piace il giglio, l'altri fiori sprezzerò. Se tu m'ami, se tu sospiri sol per me, gentil pastor, o dolor dei tuoi martiri, o diletto del tuo amor, ma se pensi che sul letto io ti deboli amar, pastorello, se soggetto facilmente io ti ingannar, pastorello, se soggetto facilmente io ti ingannar, facilmente io ti ingannar.
That was brilliant. And you sang it, you didn't fake it, you sang it. And the music was wonderful. Our music department is really wonderful. I think our music department, I have to thank the music department for playing your music.
Yes, they do a fantastic job.
Don't they?
Yes.
And now we're going to go into who are you studying with?
I started out studying with a brilliant woman named Linda Corwin, and I was with her for about 5 years. She was singing a lot there on that CD that you just heard. She was an incredible Italian-American singer and voice teacher and did it for many, many years. And unfortunately, about 1 or 2 years now, in April, she passed away of pancreatic cancer.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yes, it was very, very quick. She was diagnosed in December, and she passed away in March. I knew very little about it. I saw her in November of I believe it was 08, and we just said goodbye for the holidays, see you in January, and I never saw her again.
Oh, isn't that terrible?
Yes, and it was very, very tragic. She was only 55 and just a brilliant, vibrant woman. It was really, really a loss to many people who loved her, and certainly the music community besides her loving family. So I'm currently studying with Marissa Copeland, who was a friend of Linda's in the same area where I live, the San Gabriel Valley, who is also excellent, very, very good, and helped me a lot preparing for today.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you're certainly singing well. Now, do you do musical comedy too?
I have done it, yeah. Let's see, it's been a while. HMS Pinafore was the last opera that I did. Otherwise, I kind of concentrate on trying to audition for regular acting roles. There isn't a lot of musical comedy I'm able to do, only simply because local theater requires a lot of time, and one must work full-time and pay rent, so there's no...
That's true, that's true. Now, what musical comedies would you do?
In the past, I worked a little on King and I did The Wiz, but I didn't do a lot of singing in that. So I think a dream role would be My Fair Lady. I grew up with Rodgers and Hammerstein. I grew up on my dad's music, so I've always loved Rod.
Did your dad sing?
He sang a little. He was a Catholic priest, so he sang.
Oh, he was a Catholic?
Yep.
And he's your father?
Yes, and he was born in Ireland, came to the United States by way of the Catholic Church.
Oh, really?
So yes, he sang in church, and he was a teacher, and he loved California so much he decided to get off the church train and become a civilian.
And how did he become your father? He met your mother, and
About a year after he became laicized from the priesthood, he met my mother at Tom Bergen's in Hollywood.
Oh, on Fairfax?
Yes,
Yes.
which is still standing, and she was with a girlfriend, and he asked if he could buy them a drink. He left shortly thereafter, and my mother turned to her girlfriend and said, "I'm going to marry that man." And I think they were married 2 or 3 months later.
Was he a priest then?
No, he had been out of the service for about a year.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So your father was a former priest.
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful?
Married a Jewish girl.
Oh, your mother was Jewish?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good. That's good. So
Best of both worlds in our family.
yes, yes, it is. Now, does he go to the synagogue with your mother?
No, we didn't really practice religion growing up. I think our parents just let us find our own way. My dad was never someone to push religion on anyone. He was always there to answer questions when we would ask, but he would never initiate. He let us find out for ourselves what we wanted to do spiritually.
That was nice. That was nice to be that free. And he came from Ireland?
Yes.
And he was a priest in Ireland?
And here.
Oh, here too?
Yes, that's actually how he came to America. Was he was ordained by the Oblate order, who sent him to California. First, he was in Oakland, San Pedro. He taught high school and gave services. And eventually, well, when he came down to San Pedro, he stayed. And he taught and he gave services there and kind of all over Southern California to a few different churches. And eventually it became a lonely life, and he left and decided to stay in Southern California.
He did?
Yes.
And that's how he met your mother?
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful? So it's first time to hear a story of a priest who left the clergy and got married and to a Jewish girl.
Yes.
That's really something.
And they stayed married. I'm the only one I know of all my friends whose parents are still together.
Are you you have other brothers or sisters?
I have one older brother, yes.
Isn't that what? And he doesn't want to go in the priesthood?
No, he's got a girlfriend and he's happy with her.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now tell me what operas or operettas you would like to sing in.
Well, I would love to do the Magic Flute. I did a recital years ago, and it was there was Linda Corwin's vocal studio. All of her students gave a concert, and she picked selections from different musicals and different operas, and she picked a few from the Magic Flute, and I was really swept up by the role of the Queen of the Night.
Oh, that's a wonderful role.
It is, and I was just blown away, and I really didn't know much about Mozart at the time. I just knew I loved this piece, and so I sang one of the 2 Queen of the Night arias in that concert. And then a month or 2 later, there was a Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, excuse me, and they were having a talent show, so I sang the piece there.
In the talent show?
Yes, in the Las Vegas Hilton where Elvis once performed, I sang for all the Trekkies.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Nerve-wracking, but fun.
It was nerve-wracking?
Yes.
Because you were afraid?
Yes, and it was just one of those things where everything went wrong that day. The CD player quit working. The bus didn't show up for me to go back to my hotel and get changed and practice, and so everything was very last minute, and I went on last, and so by that time my throat had closed up a little bit, and it was a 4-minute piece, and they give you 2 minutes to perform, so I sang about half of it, but pulled it off, and everyone seemed to love it. So
well, that's all that matters, that they liked it, and they welcomed you.
Yes, very much so.
Now, what musicals would you like to sing?
I would love to do My Fair Lady, as I told you.
Yes.
I'd love to do The Mikado, and well, technically that's an opera. Anything Gilbert and Sullivan, I love. I'd like to do Oklahoma, Pretty much anything Rodgers and Hammerstein. I enjoy South Pacific and Flower Drum's song, but I really love Oklahoma the best, and Carousel, although it's a very, very sad story.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Yes.
But I'd say My Fair Lady is the dream role for now.
Yeah. Well, is she preparing you for musicals, or you're just singing opera?
Just singing opera, really, right now. I mean, opera is kind of more my love, but musical theater certainly comes a close second. And with composers like Rodgers and Hammerstein, they had a real classical bent to the way they write. So it's musical theater, but it's not light. It's done with a full orchestra. And as we know, Shirley Jones was a fantastic soprano and really sang those pieces like an opera singer.
Right, right, right. Well, I think she studied opera.
That makes sense. She had a 4-octave voice.
Yes, yes, yes. And poor Julie Andrews, who was so brilliant, and now she can't sing too well.
Yes, my first teacher, Linda Corwin, explained to me that it was actually because she had done Victor Victoria on Broadway for 6 months, and so she spent 6 months deepening her voice to try to sing like a man. And so she was singing technically out of her range, and that's what gave her those polyps that she had removed.
Really?
Yes, and unfortunately the surgery was botched, and so she was never able to sing again simply because she sang out of her range for 6 months, and it destroyed her voice. So it was a real lesson in singing properly and using proper technique, and don't sing the notes that you're really technically not able to sing, because you can give yourself polyps and ruin your voice. Yes.
Well, at least you know.
At least I know.
So
poor Julie Andrews. She's an inspiration to everyone.
Poor woman. I feel bad about it. But she had a brilliant voice.
Oh yeah, she was a 4-octave also.
Was she?
Yes.
Now, are you a 4-octave?
I don't actually know. I know I've got at least 2 to 3. I'm still working. You know, I think the highest note I was recorded able to sing was a high F sharp. So hopefully I'll get to a high G one of these days.
Now, what do you want to do? I mean, what is inspiring you to do what? Stay with opera? Go to musical comedy? Or what?
I love acting, so I would certainly love to act in nearly anything, and I've been actively taking classes for quite a while. But and of course I'll do musical theater anytime I can get a role. But I would say my first love in music is opera, and I would really love to perform that more than anything.
Well, have you had chances to go to little theater in your community?
I have in the past. That's where actually I did HMS Pinafore and a few other musicals in the past, back when I had a 9-to-5 job and could make the rehearsals and it was local. It's a little harder now. My schedule's a little odd.
Oh, because of your working with your father?
Working with my dad, and then I have a second job as well at a store, and I usually work afternoons till 9 p.m. So that would so that would conflict with rehearsals and performances.
Of course, of course,
yeah.
Of course.
So.
Well, I want to thank you for giving me the privilege hearing you sing and knowing you want to go into opera.
Well, thank you very much.
And I've had a lot of friends who were in opera, and you know.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. I knew Marilyn Horne years ago.
No kidding.
Before she even went into opera.
Well, I wish I met you back then.
we used to do we did The Man and the Moon is Hiding.
Wow.
And that's how I got with Marilyn Horne, and also her girlfriend was the one who does everybody's voice.
Are you talking about Marnie Nixon?
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, I love her.
Yes, yes, yes. So you see, I work with those people in music theater.
That's amazing.
And it's wonderful when I see Marilyn Horne. And also, the funny thing, she married a wonderful conductor, and my brother was on staff in New Jersey, and they needed a conductor, and I said to my brother, hire him. And they did.
Oh, that's
So he
fantastic.
became the conductor in Newark, New Jersey.
Wow.
So I knew Marilyn Horne years ago, and Marnie Nixon.
God, that's amazing. Marnie Nixon's still going strong, I understand.
Yes, she is. She's still singing for everybody.
She's one of those people I've
And-
always wanted to meet.
And you keep singing for everyone, too.
Thank you.
And I don't know how to thank you for coming and singing for me and for my audience. And would you like to tell my audience to go study opera?
Yes, please. It's not known as the most popular art form in the world, but it's one of the original ones, and it's incredible. And everyone should check out an opera now and again.
That's good. And I would like to thank you again and tell you I wish I could study opera, but I did.
You can.
I did musical comedy.
Well, and I hear you're quite a singer too,
Well, sometimes.
and a dancer.
Oh yes. I danced for years. And you mentioned all the musicals I was in.
Oh, you're kidding.
You know, Carousel and.
Well, I'm jealous.
Oklahoma, but I was young and foolish then.
Well, you can accomplish a lot when you're foolish.
Oh yes, you can. You can. Well, thank you again, and thank your friend, Miss Brislin, who is brought you to me so that you could perform on my show.
Oh, yes, I greatly appreciate Susan Brislin, our musical director, for bringing me to you and giving me this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yes, and she played the music very well.
Yeah, she did.
You know, she played piano very well. I didn't know she could play piano that well, but she did.
And she introduced me to the Pony in Fresno as well, so she's responsible for bringing lots of people together. And
That's true. And thank you. We're over. We're over?
Yeah. I just want to give it a little bit of.
Yeah. Now you have to go home where?
oh, Covina.
Oh, God.
Was I leaning forward too much? I think at one point.
It was fine. It seemed like John kept his little spot.
Oh, good, because I was kind of perched on the edge of the chair at one point.